Hey everyone, it's Elizabeth here. So today on October 18th of 2018, I am officially a pilgrim. I'm going to put my glasses on here for a moment. I've been in Porto for about 15 hours and I think I've cried about 19 times since I've been here. And in the backdrop, it's the Porto Cathedral where you pick up your passport for the pilgrimage. And you know, just coming back to this spot, if you followed any of the stuff that why I'm doing this pilgrimage, it's because my ex-husband and I loved Porto. We were, looking at even trying to move here one day. And, with a divorce, this is my way of kind of moving on. And the irony is this trip, exactly 1 year ago today it happened. I got a text message. It was like a Wednesday. It was like, hey, what are you doing tonight? I'm like, I don't do anything on Wednesday nights. I'm going to be at home. And, that's when I got the news that my ex-husband Josh wanted to divorce and try to figure out if he wanted to continue on with the marriage. And so as I've stood at the spot at the cathedral, I remember seeing the arrows, the blue and yellow arrows, one in the direction of Fatima, the other one in direction of Santiago. And honestly, I didn't really put it together 3 years ago in October 2015, but now I'm back in the same spot. That arrow is just behind me, and here I am, doing this journey where I thought we would be doing it together, but I'm doing it alone. And this specific spot kind of stirred memories because I remember us taking photos and there were some stray cats in the grass behind me, and we were both kind of enamored by it and taking pictures. And so it's just very, very sweet memories. And looking out at the city from this vantage point at the cathedral, it's just I remember exactly the reasons why we fell in love with this city. It's just an absolutely spectacular place. And in this other video I made, there's a little bit of, I guess, some sadness in terms of what's happening to the Portuguese people, the middle class working people, which I have some grievances toward the middle class in terms of what's happening today in Western civilization. And I don't know, I'm mixed with emotions, because it's one moment I'm happy, the next I'm emotional, and it's not necessarily I'm still grieving the divorce. I'm over it. I technically have moved on. He's moved on. He's in a new relationship from what I've heard. We don't stay in touch because there'd be no way emotionally either one of us would have been able to move on. And it's completely fine. I think the thing is, in some of my past writings, is I just had such a really rough year that I have more of a fear and I'm more afraid of things not working out for me in the future as compared to the things that I had. And that part, I do have faith and I will believe it will happen again. If I look a little bug-eyed, it's because I just went to a mass and I just got out of it, and I of course cried there. And so this is a no makeup version of what the camera makes you look like on your phone. But I don't know, I am excited. And the thing is, I believe that things happen to you, happen for you, not to you. And the thing that I really think at this point in time is, if nothing happened the way it did, I wouldn't be sitting here right now in this moment, in this point in time. And there are blessings in disguise. I mean, I had a lot of intuitive guidances throughout this point where he and I laid our tracks in terms of traveling the world, and now it's time for us to put our roots down with somebody else. And the irony of coming back to Porto, as I've explained in other posts, is that the bird, the kind of the national bird, is the swallow, and the swallow is a family bird. And when you are in Porto, sorry, I have fuzz in my mouth. When you're here, or throughout Portugal, you'll see lots of roosters and swallows and sparrows and stuff that are made out of ceramic. And I think in terms of, sorry, stuff's flying in my mouth. It's a lot of that family connection. It's that family connection that, I've learned to reappreciate a lot in my latter years of being 33. I don't think I necessarily had a ton of it in my 20s. I think a lot of times in America we have very rotten attitudes. The ones of us who are different from our family tend to degrade and put down our family or places that we come from, and I think it's a really shitty and poor attitude, and I'm seeing that a lot today. A lot of this bashing of places that we've come from. I don't know, I don't want to go on with that, but I would just say, you know, I'm going to start my journey here in a little bit. I'm going to walk around the city, grab my stuff from the hostel, and make my way on forward to my first destination. But yeah, I don't know, it's like I'm excited. This is a release. I mean, I woke up at 5 a.m. today with the church bells going off, and it immediately struck memories of living in Germany and having the Marktkirche church bells wake me up in the morning. In that similar sense, it's like whenever I hear a moped's engine running, I think of India, or whenever I hear the ocean, I think of the ocean waking me up when I lived in Australia. So I've had a lot of very sweet memories throughout my life, and I feel my life is very abundant with experience, but not necessarily with money, and that's fine. I'm completely content and happy with that. I only desire to have enough to like make it. I'm not one of these people where it's like I'm striving to like, you know, make $90,000 to $100,000 a year, because you have to put in, you know, some of your soul has to like do its thing in order to reap that reward. But I'm very grateful for everything in my life, everything that's happened to me, good and bad, even with a lot of the men who kind of, I guess, broke my heart to some degree this year, in some sense of quasi trying to date them or whatever it was. You know, it's like all of that's forgiveness. I'm not mad. I can be a little mad and bitter at times, but for the most part, it's like these are all learning lessons that are helping me on the path, and hopefully with where I get to go in my life, these things will lead me to the point to where I need to go. And this is why I rely so much on faith, and it's because a lot of our millennial generation is losing a lot of that. Yes, spirituality and stuff is changing as compared to what it did a long time ago, but I think we need to keep our faith. And even in the mass I went to this morning, it's all old people. They're gonna die, you know, very shortly or in a few years, and it's kind of like, where are we headed? Because, you know, the shit that I saw at the hostel of, you know, millennials like partying and binging beer and cooking, like that can be fun, but that isn't a sustainable lifestyle. I don't know, I'm like, where the fuck are we headed? We're just becoming too decadent. Life is too decadent. But anyways, I want to show you the cathedral behind me, and kind of this little area around. But I don't know, these are just some thoughts. I'm going to leave it at that, and thank you for listening. Please subscribe below. You can continue to follow my posts on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm going to try to blog as much as I can while kind of like pecking at my phone. Alright, buen camino, bye.